NBA slate of games. But before we get into that, I'm just going to introduce the channel, what I'm trying to achieve from this whole experience doing this. Basically just going to run ideally everyday content, get it out, present the slate of games for the NBA. Big NBA fan, as you can probably tell by the wall. Golden State Warriors fan. As of right now, not a good team to be supporting, but I believe in us. But yeah, basically just run content through every day of however many games are on. Talk through, the ins and outs of the games, who's winning, who's losing, who's up and down, who my personal opinion is. Give my personal opinion out to you guys, see if you agree or not on how everyone's going, how the team's going, and basically just bring it all together and try and create this community where we can all just talk basketball with one another, sort it out, and yeah, see where this thing goes. But without further ado, we'll start with the games. First game of the day, Pistons, Timberwolves. Look, Pistons, you're in the game for majority of today. Jaden Ivey I think he played 35 minutes or something, gave 32 points. Big day from him, but the Timberwolves at the end of the day are proving like the team to beat. You can't really, they're a great regular season team. Whether that's going to channel through into the playoffs or not might be a different story, but as of right now, Rudy Gobert, DPOY level, playing his ass off every night. I think he had 17 and 16 rebounds or something today, which was ridiculous. Anthony Edwards, All-Star, locked in. Karl Anthony Towns, wouldn't be surprised if he made an All-Star appearance as well. The Pistons, they're looking better. Ever since Jalen came back, he's been a beast inside for them. He finished with a massive 19 rebounds and 20 points. He's been huge for them, having someone in the centre, just being able to, clog up the paint for a lot of teams, because while he was out during that massive losing streak, they were just getting ran through the paint every single time, and there was really nothing they could do about it. Second game, Hawks Magic. Dejounte, hats off to. They're close game all day. Magic going back and forth. Little run here. Hawks came back. Trae Young, offensively today, in the assists market, really good. Like, passing the ball well. But scoring can be better. I think he was in the 10s to 15s with scoring. But he's the keys to their offense. At this point, I don't think they're going to do much offensively without him, because he sets up Clint Capella, he sets up Onyeka Okongwu, he sets up all those big guys on the roll off the screens, and also he's foul baiting, whether you like it or not. It's part of the game. He does really well with it, baiting the fouls, making them, the other team, always think about him and make sure you keep your hands off and playing good defense. Otherwise, if you don't, he's going to trap you every time, and it's what he's learned to do. It's what he's been good at his whole career, other than his three-point shooting, but he's doing really well for himself. But today, Dejounte, unreal. I think he had 26 points before the buzzer beater. They went into a tight game. 8 seconds left. Inbounds the ball. Dejounte was pushing the envelope, running all the way up the court. I saw Trae Young walking up the court. I don't know if he was fully walking, but he was doing a light jog up the court. No one was really interested in getting up to the other end of the floor. Dejounte pushed the ball, forced the issue, went in, tough two, mid-range corner. That's been a shot his whole career that he's been able to make, and made it today. And Magic fans, I'm sorry, you had a good game. Celtics, Spurs, look, Wemby, it doesn't look too good for the Spurs right now. They've been at least competitive in a lot of games where Wemby's playing really well, scoring 25 odd a game, getting heaps of blocks, rebounds, you name it, all of it. But I think they just need to sort out their depth, because at the moment they've got a good top two guys, I would say, in Devin Vassell and Vic, but other than that, I don't think their depth really goes well. Like, they've got a couple of nice pieces in Jeremy Sohan. They need to work out how they're going to play him, because they experimented early in the year with playing him as the point guard, and that really didn't go too well for the team. Trey Jones, really good player. If he was coming off the bench for you, you'd be more than happy with what's going on in your situation. But the Celtics, too good. They're the best team in the league for a reason. Even with 2 injuries, they still have enough depth where they can dig in deep, give a good 48 minutes of basketball, and still win 117-98. Really wasn't a close game for majority of it, but onto the Knicks and Rockets. Knicks get the job done. This game was actually close for majority of the game. I think the first 3 quarters, three-quarter time, it was 7 points of difference or something. The Rockets were in it the whole game, and then the fourth quarter, New York just blew it open. Julius Randle, when he's playmaking, I believe Julius Randle is their best player by a mile. I think Jalen Brunson is that guy, but with Julius Randle being able to play make as well as do all the little things inside and rebound and scoring, I feel like he's by far their best player, all NBA level. With the Rockets, Sengun continues to develop. He's gonna be, I see him as a bit of a baby Jokic. He's gonna be one of those dudes coming down the line. He's going to be great for them. Fred VanVleet, massive pickup on the off-season. He didn't play too well today, but he's been good. Managing their offense, getting everyone in positions, getting them in their spots, passing the ball. But he's been really good. Whereas with the Knicks, I believe, need to fix their depth up. Their top 5 or 6 guys with DiVincenzo. Quentin Grimes, I think, needs more minutes, but he can be that guy. And Josh Hart, absolute dog. He can do whatever he wants, whenever he likes. He does all the little things for your team. He's one of those guys you want to have on your roster all the time. Just a really great team player. Mitch Robinson, when he comes back from injury, he's a huge guy, big body. He does all the rebounding and all the dirty work for you. So they got a big top 6, but other than that, I think they need to find out, Tibbs needs to find out what his rotation is going into the playoffs, because I believe they'll be a good playoff team. They'll push the issue with some teams, push them to 6 and 7 games. But that rotation just needs to be sorted out. Next game, Cavs Bucks. Giannis, no Giannis tonight. The Bucks just got ran off the floor. I think the game started Milwaukee 2, Cavs 22 in the first quarter. Like, it was a really long game for the Bucks. They couldn't get anything going. There was a lot of complaining going on within the team from what I saw. Dame, cold shooting night, coming off the big performance that he had with the game winner the other night. I don't expect him to have a good game every night, but his shooting tonight was less than ideal, and it forced the Bucks into a hole that they could ultimately not get out of. Georges Niang, I think, had 33 points on 13 of 14 from the field or something. Ridiculous game from him. I don't know where it's came from or, how he's done it, but shout out to Georges Niang. Massive performance. Donovan Mitchell, been the rock for them while Darius Garland and Emo have been out. He's just been perfect for them, doing all the little things, holding the fort down for them. Whereas for the Bucks, resting Giannis, I don't think many people in the organisation ever so expected a win or loss, but it just wasn't your night. Couldn't get anything going offensively, defensively. Georges Niang scoring whatever he liked against the Raptors Heat. Not even gonna lie to you guys, I did not watch a second of this. I checked the box score at the end of the first quarter, and it was 41-18 or something. It was like 30 points at the end of the first quarter, and I just thought, well, with the big slate of games that I had going on, I could prioritise my time watching other games, so is that one. From the box score that I saw, RJ Barrett continuing to thrive in his new position. I think he's loving the freedom, getting the ball in his hands more compared to when he was playing with Julius and Jalen. He's doing great things for them. Gary Trent, big night, 28 points, team led in scoring. Whereas with the Heat, it was kind of hard for you guys, considering, after the first quarter, it's kind of hard to get yourself out of a hole like that when it's 30 odd points and you're trying to find the motivation. Jimmy couldn't get anything going defensively. Bam couldn't get anything going. Tyler Hero, ice cold. And when it gets that low, when your top three guys aren't scoring like they should be, it's kind of hard to salvage at that point. You take a loss in this situation. The Raps are starting to look a lot better. I feel like they're going to build, especially off this trade. We'll talk about the trade when I've gone through the games. They're going to build off this trade. They're building into their youth finally, which is a great thing for their team. Build into the youth, build up, and they're going to be good in the next few years. The Pelicans, Hornets, just wrapped up as I'm recording this. Brandon Ingram, third triple-double of his career. Shout out to him. Played a great game. The Pelicans as a whole, defensively, they were just killing the Hornets. Hornets couldn't get anything going other than LaMelo. LaMelo, I think, had 29 or something. He did really well. He pushed the issue, doing all the little things. It's good for the Hornets to have him back. They'll start to build slowly. I don't expect them to do too much in the second half of the season, but I feel like they can be a bit of an upset team and snag a few wins off some top teams fighting for position, but they're still in their rebuild. They got another couple of years. I think most of us already know this. They're at least going to be competitive in a lot of games. I feel like LaMelo is that good of a player that he can put you in a position where you're at least competitive in most cases. The Pelicans were just too good tonight. I'm a solid believer that the Pelicans, with Zion healthy, this is bearing with Zion being healthy, because I feel like their whole team's success lies on his shoulders. If Zion's healthy, I feel like they can, go second round. I don't think they'll make the conference finals, but I feel like they could be a sneaker to potentially get that close. But only time will tell. Lakers, Mavericks, just wrapped up as I'm recording. Lakers, dominant performance. I think Kyrie struggled. It wasn't the Mavericks night. They had some stuff going. They had Derek Lively, looking good early double-digit scoring in the first and second quarters. He was looking really good. He's been an absolutely unreal draft pick for them. He's changed the way that the Mavericks play, especially having him instead of Dwight Powell, because he's much more of a role man. He's so much more impactful in their success and how they are, winning games, blocking shots, defending the paint. He does all the little things that on a team with Luka Doncic, where, a lot of it's centralized around his offense, and he does what he wants on the offensive side of the ball, and you just need people to do the little things that Luka can't fill on your court, and Derek Lively does that for them, which is great. That he's going to continue to do that. He's going to get crunch time minutes for them during the playoffs. They've been really good. Other than tonight, the Lakers are starting to find themselves slowly. I know ever since, the in-season tournament win, they've been very lackluster and haven't been doing great. But Anthony Davis most nights continues to be the best player on the court with 28 tonight. D'Angelo Russell tonight, 29 points. If you can find form for D'Angelo Russell, that would be more than great for everyone. For their success, I feel like D'Angelo Russell has to be an offensive threat. D'Angelo Russell, throughout his whole career, has never been the type of guy to give you much defense on the defensive side of the ball. So if you can find his offense and he can give you 20 plus a night during the playoffs, I feel like the Lakers feel that they can win a couple of games and force their way into the playoffs, which if they were to make the playoff, Bron's healthy. Bron at 39 years old, I'm tip my hat off to him every day. He continues to be great. 25, 8 and 8 tonight. Just night in, night out, 39 years old. Father time is just non-existent for this guy. More than happy for him. Austin Reeves still needs to find his groove. That's fine. Like, it happens to everyone. But, as I said, Mavs are not an ideal win situation tonight, but they'll fix it as the day goes on. As everyone probably knows, on a less exciting point, Warriors and Jazz were meant to play today, but there was a passing of one of my Warriors assistant head coaches. So condolences to his family, I hope, and the organisation. I hope everyone in that situation finds some positivity and looks after one another, and just make sure you're comforting each other during this time. Right now, the Nets and the Blazers are at halftime while I'm recording this, so I won't actually get the result to you guys out. But the Nets up 1 point at halftime. I saw a report DeAndre Ayton's was unable to play tonight due to him being stuck at home from the ice. So I hope, everyone's staying safe during the ice. Make sure you're driving safe, getting home alright. But yeah, it's just a very weird situation for them. But yeah, other than that, we'll get into the trade now. Big trade today. Pacers, Raptors, Siakam's time as a Raptor has finally come to an end. A lot of people saw it coming for the longest time. He was on the trade block for about 12 months or so now. They were talking about moving him ever since, Lowry left, Kawhi left. So he's finally now found a home with the Pacers. Bruce Brown, 3 first-round picks, and there was one other player. Big trade for both teams. As I said earlier, the Raptors buying into their youth, feeling really good about this. I feel like they'll turn a page, and down the line, these first 3 first-round picks from the Pacers, although the Pacers might not be high draft picks for the next, however so long with the growth of Tyrese and now Pascal, it'll be interesting to see where those pieces land. But these 3 first-round picks will be huge for them. They'll be able to build off it, maybe ship it off to another location and get another young player that'll help with their development. But it'll be good for them. Whereas with the Pacers, they're buying more in now to the win now mold. I feel like they've realised that they are able to win on any given night. Tyrese is able to give you whatever you want, whenever you want. And Pascal on the offensive side of the ball will be huge for them. They're the number 1 offense in the league, and Pascal will not change that whatsoever. He will continue to score, but with Pascal, he will give you a little bit on the defensive side of the ball against some of those bigger guys, and it'll be great for both teams. I feel like if I were to rank it, a B for the Pacers. I feel like they've given up a lot of their future now, buying more into the win now, which with Tyrese getting better and better every day, I don't fully blame them, but as I said, it's destructive, semi-destructive of their future. It's not life-changing, but we'll see how it goes. And with the Raptors, I really like it. I'm going to give it a B+. I feel like the Raptors, for what they want to do right now, buying into their youth and how everyone on their roster is getting younger and younger, it's going to be really good for them. So, other than that, that's about it for today. I'll wrap it up now. If for anyone watching this video, if you could like or subscribe, I'm going to try and get this content out nearly every day. Hopefully you guys enjoy this sort of content, and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow.